Fans have noticed the dynamic between Jimin and Jungkook for years. It wasn't just casual glances. It wasn't just a simple group interaction. There was a different vibe. There was a deeper energy. And the longer it lasted, the harder it became to deny it. At first, it might have just been fan service, on-stage banter, spontaneous hugs, a small whisper caught on camera. But what left many speechless was the consistency. Those moments never truly disappeared. They kept appearing at unexpected times, in unplanned situations. Who could forget when Jungkook would unconsciously stare at Jimin for too long? That gaze wasn't just looking. It was the gaze of someone lost in thought.
금방울 향기가 나면 행복이 찾아온다.
Or when Jimin, with his soft smile, always seemed most proud when Jungkook shone, as if Jungkook's success was his own happiness. And that's where things started to feel different. Every time rumors surfaced, every time the fandom split between Jikook and Taekook, one thing that remained constant was the way they treated each other. Jimin was always protective. Jungkook was always responsive. There was a balance that wasn't artificial. Many tried to deny it. They say it's just friendship. They say it's just closeness from being together for so long. But if that's all, why do their auras feel so different? Why does every small interaction feel like a piece of an unfinished story? Interestingly, amidst the Jikook versus Taekook debate, the ones who seem most at ease are themselves. There are no dramatic clarifications. There are no overt denials. They still walk side by side. They still laugh together. They still share moments that somehow feel intimate. Some fans have even noticed subtle changes over the years. Jungkook, who used to be shy, is now more open around Jimin. Jimin, who used to tease, is now softer, more caring. It's like two people have grown together, not just as artists, but as individuals who understand each other. The rumors never stop. Some say their relationship is exaggerated. Some compare it to Jungkook and Taeyoon's interactions. Others try to build a narrative of rivalry. But interestingly, there's never been any real sign of tension between them. Instead, what's apparent is maturity. In several live moments, when sensitive questions arise, their responses are always controlled yet warm. Not defensive, not awkward, just a small smile that seemed to say, "You can guess, but we know the truth." And that's where the curiosity grew. Was this love? Was this a friendship too deep to label? Or was it something only the two of them could understand? One thing was for sure, their connection, whatever you call it, felt real. It felt alive. It felt genuine. In the image-filled entertainment world, it's hard to find a consistent connection over the years. But Jimin and Jungkook proved that true closeness doesn't need to be announced to be felt. It's visible in the small details. The way they listen to each other, the way they laugh at the same things, the way they stand a little closer than the others. And as for Jikook versus Taekook, maybe it's not about who's more real. Maybe it's not about choosing sides. Because ultimately, BTS has always been about friendship, about love in all its forms. Their closeness to each other is part of the long journey they've been on together. But still, there's something about Jimin and Jungkook that's hard to ignore. Something that makes people say, stop denying it. Not because I want to force a narrative, but because the feelings that radiate are so strong. And perhaps that mystery is what keeps this story alive. Not to be confirmed. Not to be refuted, but to be felt. Because sometimes the most real thing isn't what's announced, but what's constantly visible without needing to be explained. And when we talk about something visible without needing to be explained, we're actually discussing a language deeper than words. Body language. Eye language. A silent language that can only be understood by two people on the same wavelength. Think back to those small moments that often go unnoticed by the general public, but never escape the eyes of loyal fans. During a group interview and everyone's joking around, Jungkook often subconsciously seeks Jimin's reaction, as if Jimin's opinion or laughter is the validation he's most looking for. And Jimin. Fans have noticed the dynamic between Jimin and Jungkook for years. It wasn't just casual glances. It wasn't just a simple group interaction. There was a different vibe. There was a deeper energy. And the longer it lasted, the harder it became to deny it. At first, it might have just been fan service, on-stage banter, spontaneous hugs, a small whisper caught on camera. But what left many speechless was the consistency. Those moments never truly disappeared. They kept appearing at unexpected times, in unplanned situations. Who could forget when Jungkook would unconsciously stare at Jimin for too long? That gaze wasn't just looking. It was the gaze of someone lost in thought. Or when Jimin, with his soft smile, always seemed most proud when Jungkook shone. As if Jungkook's success was his own happiness. And that's where things started to feel different. Every time rumors surfaced, every time the fandom split between Jikook and Taekook, one thing that remained constant was the way they treated each other. Jimin was always protective. Jungkook was always responsive. There was a balance that wasn't artificial. Many tried to deny it. They say it's just friendship. They say it's just closeness from being together for so long. But if that's all, why do their auras feel so different? Why does every small interaction feel like a piece of an unfinished story? Interestingly, amidst the Jikook versus Taekook debate, the ones who seem most at ease are themselves. There are no dramatic clarifications. There are no overt denials. They still walk side by side. They still laugh together. They still share moments that somehow feel intimate. Some fans have even noticed subtle changes over the years. Jungkook, who used to be shy, is now more open around Jimin. Jimin, who used to tease, is now softer, more caring. It's like two people have grown together, not just as artists, but as individuals who understand each other. The rumors never stop. Some say their relationship is exaggerated. Some compare it to Jungkook and Taeyoon's interactions. Others try to build a narrative of rivalry. But interestingly, there's never been any real sign of tension between them. Instead, what's apparent is maturity. In several live moments, when sensitive questions arise, their responses are always controlled yet warm. Not defensive, not awkward, just a small smile that seemed to say, "You can guess, but we know the truth." And that's where the curiosity grew. Was this love? Was this a friendship too deep to label? Or was it something only the two of them could understand? One thing was for sure, their connection, whatever you call it, felt real. It felt alive. It felt genuine. In the image-filled entertainment world, it's hard to find a consistent connection over the years. But Jimin and Jungkook proved that true closeness doesn't need to be announced to be felt. It's visible in the small details. The way they listen to each other, the way they laugh at the same things, the way they stand a little closer than the others. And as for Jikook versus Taekook, maybe it's not about who's more real. Maybe it's not about choosing sides. Because ultimately, BTS has always been about friendship, about love in all its forms. Their closeness to each other is part of the long journey they've been on together.